Hey everyone, I'm Stanley with the Rotschill Anderson Show. Make sure you share and like the video if you're enjoying it. Most importantly, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all the excitement that's to come. We are on all the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you go there and follow us and stay tuned.
Oui, bonsoir mesdames et messieurs, salutations spéciales à vous tous. Welcome to the Rotschill Anderson Show and my crew. And as I say crew, we have Stanley, we have Loulou, et nous gagnons et Richard Dumont et Mono Bouzi. Bon, ce sera défini, bon, Mono Bouzi, pas qu'à lancement avec nous à ce but. Nonetheless, sa mission sera avec nous en esprit et en vérité. Et voilà. Et bon, et mesdames et messieurs, et comment ça va? Et ça va, Stanley? Est-ce que ça va là? Ah bon, je ne t'entends pas bien, hein, là, je ne sais pas, qu'est-ce qui arrive là, je t'entends pas.
Loulou, pas là, monsieur, moi non. Moi, monsieur qui tout français, qui n'a joli là, je dis.
Bon, et ça arrive, hein. Aujourd'hui à lundi. Tu sais quoi, bon, durant le week-end, j'étais à Punta Cana, là. Bien sûr, bon, il faut le faire, parfois, hein. Il ne faut pas oublier, hein. Il faut faire. Vous savez quoi, j'étais à Punta Cana, là, hein, pendant 2 jours, là. Très bon moment, j'ai travaillé durant toute la journée. Et j'ai à peine, je pense, 2 heures de temps au cela.
Mais les Punta Cana, c'était London, France, c'est vraiment tout le monde français. Pas le monde ne va aller l'autre bois.
Bon, ça dépend, hein. Ça dépend, bon, il y a beaucoup de touristes là-bas, hein. Il y a beaucoup de Françaises, hein. C'est pour la première fois, j'ai rencontré une Française qui me plaît là. Ça va? Ça c'est bien. Et Loulou, comment ça va, Loulou? Et vous trois, ça va, hein? Ça va, Loulou? Je ne vois pas Loulou. Où est Loulou? Ah, Loulou pas là. Et ou même, bon, bah, les coins là, c'est ma voix parce que nous ne pas comprendre moi. Richard Dumont.
Regardez, Loulou tout trippé, et puis le jeter parce que c'est souvent,
Français, monsieur, yo, men. Son pas la étudier depuis matin dans l'avion, hein.
Bon, et
puis, son bagage, ça pour réciter.
Réciter,
bon, ça dérange. Voilà.
Ça dérange.
Français, est-ce que ça dérange?
Ça te dérange, hein? Je m'en fous. Je m'en fous, là.
On va lui appeler le petit français,
Yo, ça va fait là.
En forme. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
I mean, it was a crazy weekend.
Ready for
this weekend was a crazy weekend in Miami, man.
Ready for a good, short and interesting show tonight.
Oh, well, what these guys say?
Interesting show.
Well, Jesus, I mean, like, damn, these guys already put the time frame on the show. Well, but anyway, look at me. Like, I was supposed to be tired, you guys, man. Damn, I've been on a plane all day. And then I flew in just to do the show. And I'm flying back again Wednesday night. I'm going to be in Cartagena Wednesday night. And do you guys know, actually, Stanley, class going to be in Cartagena. But I'm not going for them because, with the Haitian thing, I know I don't do that. So, but nonetheless.
I don't do that. On est qui gon show ici. I don't do that.
I don't do bal. Bal concert. Bal concert. Et voilà. Et Loulou est là. Comment ça va, Loulou?
Ne ou gon show k'ap parler créole avec anglais. Dan yo va vle ouais femme haïtienne et puis va l'embala ici.
Ah ouais monsieur. J'ai pas nous avec m'a dit chambre dit m'a vle femme haïtienne. Au côté tellement moi femme haïtienne qui fait me stay the hell away from them.
Oui.
M'a me fait aussi.
Et yo va mettre point pied à Haïti.
Bon, bah quoi d'avoir le tout non?
Non, moi
Moi-même, j'ai déjà compris ça, mais je ne vais pas le dire tout.
Loulou
They
chéri.
already know.
Ah, monsieur, ça ne suspend parler là. Hein, Loulou est là.
La belle Loulou est dans l'air.
Ah, la belle Loulou est dans l'air. Qu'est-ce qui arrive, toi?
Très, très souriante. Très souriante.
Ouais, tu rigoles là, toi. Vas-y, Loulou. Comment était
I'm
le
sorry,
week-end pour toi, hein,
like
Loulou?
some technology issues. I have a filter that's making me look old. My Wi-Fi is going in and out, so just
No, just pay the bill. Loulou.
That's
just
it.
pay the
That's right,
bill.
I
Gotta give you good Wi-Fi.
Independent woman.
filter that keeps kicking in and giving me gray hair and lines. I don't know where it's coming from.
Take the damn filter off.
Pay Comcast. Just pay Comcast.
Loulou takou mesdames qui fin faire surgery, puis they don't like the outcome.
En parlant de ça, monsieur, je dis, avant de regarder au chill de Mesdames Bibi Elio, et d'habitude, ça Cindy, et it takes a lot pour un garçon qui avec une fille qui fait un BBL.
It takes a lot for men. It takes a lot pour un garçon qui a été avec une femme.
On fait qui a raffiné l'école. Donc, on fait breast lift, breast reduction, non, on dit breast reduction, ok, cap couper avant lui, et puis pour faire retirer un peu. Parce que ça me dit, monsieur, me dit que ça, que là, on fait ça avec Fia, pour garder, pour garder d'abnès, et puis tout d'abnès tout le stomac Fia, plein et coup de couteau.
Cicatrice
là-dedans. Et pour moi, ça. Et then, super.
Moi, pense comme si yo fait bien pour cicatrice. C'est pas vraiment bien. I think moi nèg yo on ti gens très avancé parce que et moi-même ouais ça moi ouais que bon des gens tout yo qu'on fait par exemple tété mesdames yo qu'on fait en bas tété therefore ou pas ouais cicatrice là.
Ça c'est mon café.
Ouais, mais faut lever tété au cas ouais cicatrice là.
Ça c'est mon café breast augmentation. On parle de
Well, I mean,
also there's a type of chemical that if you place it immediately after surgery, you barely see any type of scars.
Bon.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have some scars. So let me mette on rad souli. I mean, they're not fully naked, but muna tellement paret belle rad la teno bye. So, but I mean, the scars are just.
On sait la gamme connaît toute femme qui fait BBL, le 80% est au bas douce.
Comment fait le bas douce là?
Non.
Il connaît.
80% de femmes qui fait BBL. Depuis 80 ouais puis fait femme qui fait tête, qui fait munda, qui fait quoi, qui fait this, qui become a door, yo bas douce.
But what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know where.
Ah c'est ma bon. Yo femme ça. Non, mais ça passe attendez. Les femmes sont fait toute bagage ça yo fait pour réseau bien simple. En pile légal derrière yo taille en pile parce que faut que they have to get their
Money back.
their investment back. Les yo taille en pile comme ça kounya la l'on taille comme ça yo pas douce.
Non, mais où sont les habitants là Miami?
Moi marqué comme ça au lieu femme ça fait vaginal rejuvenation et puis c'est bonde à mettre. Pendant 7 ans on est bien dry.
Also, your view is a little skewed a little bit because you live in Miami, you're a Miami guy.
Okay.
Therefore, on packet la mesdames ou qu'on a café BBL, café de bagay,
Yeah.
they're really doing it so they can go to work.
What do you mean go to work? I don't understand.
Eh bien, mesdames yo travaillent dans strip club.
Eh bien, ça m'a pas l'eau, yo pas douce.
Non, mais grand pile monde qui fait genre de bail ça yo. It might be because they had you different 2-3 team then they want to actually do something to where is gonna make it call you back into shape to something. It's not necessarily quand on monal couille dans l'arrière pour la détail.
Eh bien, les femmes dans strip club là lui-même, femmes qui dans strip club qui sont connaît le base, pas oublier, nous sommes remember.
So
Go ahead, Stanley.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, women do it for different reasons. As he stated, depending on the area, the location, we know that South Florida, it's known for whatever it is that it's known for. But a lot of women do it because they want to see improvement in their bodies for themselves, not necessarily to sleep around.
No, but guess what? Si vous bien regardez, we're not state, côté femme yo, bataille en pile là, they're not into that nonsense. Côté femme yo, pi bousin là, ou fait BBL plus.
Pas la gueule comme ça.
Bon, c'est où qu'habiter l'autre bois, moi qu'habiter.
So, ouais, Mami là. Pas qu'une femme non Mami. Dans moment là. Ma parle femme nan, fait munda, li fait tete, li fait quoi, li fait this. For free. Ben tete comme ça.
What you mean for free?
Qu'est-ce non, tant comme de kadou, tant kou, l'aime do for free non, l'aime do for free ali. Li fait, ba kounya la, ou pas le payer pour lui. Yeah, so say because she's gonna sell. Yeah, so investment li. For example, ou ge femme, ou ge mais qui ça va faire? Yo va faire OnlyFans. Depuis you do your entrepreneur, OnlyFans. Entrepreneur, for them being do OnlyFans, that means they classify themselves as entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur ou bien social media.
Ou bien social media.
Yeah.
So ça veut dire qui ça? Influence. Ouais, ça quoi? So basically, qui ça? C'est OnlyFans, strip club, ou bien qui parle des nèg. But at the end of the day, everybody knows.
Oubliez, dans sa Florida, c'est pas même genre de bail, ça, ou bardo service, qui dans club yo, ou bien, restaurant, bah, on prend, son également, comment dire restaurant, et ou remet aller là-dedans, et get.
Petit pas non mais non côté mal. Qu'est-ce fait qu'on est là? T'as l'autre des haïtiens va l'autre bois là. Non pas. Il gâté ba non mais moun là.
C'est liste ou pas changer, ben ça va.
Ou pas changer, c'est pas changer. C'est pas changer.
Ou pas changer ben.
Ça pas sauf choix. C'est pas changer, on va changer. Ouais, les ça. Ouais, parce que me nous, c'est pas nous, voilà, je peux venir dire ça là. Mais on va parler même bardo serveur sont passés. Pour qu'ils soient passés au fait quoi yo. C'est pour qu'on fasse un step.
Son compétition liée.
Pour qu'on fasse un step pas.
Oui, mais en même temps tout l'autre avant côté web, mesdames sous côté là fait, sous bagage l'eau même pour PC faire t'es pour PC faire whatever. So you just got to go and get it done. So qu'on y a là on peut compete. Competition. Vous avez besoin?
Bon, moi-même, j'ai fait nous connaître, moi-même, c'est pas comme connaît même. 75% femmes qui fait bagage, so that's really plastic. Comme ça, pas 12 members.
Mon cher, base. Différence.
You went down in percentage. Before you said 80%, now you said 75.
Bon, quand si femme qui fait texte, moi là, il dit mais 75.
Non, mais ce qui critère, non, faut me poser une question. Ce qui critère aurait été ou dire consacré ou pas douce là. I would like to understand.
Parce que pas une femme comme ça m'ta qui bon men. Une ba bon men.
Donc question c'est me poser.
M'a fait 2 fois non men. I swear, believe me. I mean like yo, it's not the same. L'aime venir petit bail, bon petit bail naturel, bail zabokave qui gon tete zabokave.
It's not your forte. C'est le mental lié. Ça veut dire que mon pas nous n'a pas de sport mais doucement l'autre. Pour moi-même personnellement, moi ensemble avant, moi son avec un petit plus que mes bails qui naturel. Mais je pas aimer bail qui trop voluptuous. Like if it's not c'est pas proportionné avec corps, bagarre la sortie, mais gros c'est, mais gros bail, I feel like it looks weird to me.
So therefore,
well, il pas ridicule pour nous, mais il pas ridicule pour notre nèg, but moi-même mentalement même moi là.
Sans les quel que soit nèg qui garder femme ça, sans les pas jamais garder femme ça comme des cadeaux. Quel que soit nèg là, il pas jamais garder femme ça pour dire ah ouais shit man, ouais femme ça man. M'ba laisser femme ça m'ba laisser faire madame moi pas un tête comme ça. Quel que soit femme
de Of course. Gen qui remet ça même, yo vle de plastic look. Everybody have a different.
Pas pour madame pour tailler.
Yeah, but
pas pour madame mon cher.
Show off.
Show off, mais pas pour madame, pas pour madame pour lever petit tout.
Madame, yo prend regarder.
Yo marié, yo bien marié.
Yo regarder. Chaque jour et puis tout regarder faire photo.
No, listen, guys. Listen, that's why I said 75%, 80%. Si m'ge madame moi, li get madame moi déjà pendant des années. Li get madame moi, c'est madame moi. Kounya là, li veut faire parce que il commence à sentir et m'te ka di ou on ti Jean et m'te ka inférieur ou bien self
Self-esteem
commence
low,
low.
yeah.
something to boost.
Moi, exactement, moi, elle commence à affecter, surtout les lavem, li ouais, qui font cap garder, c'est by 24, 25. So, et madame moi lié, c'est madame moi lié. Moi, pas oublier, ouais, moi, même si on est qui considère, pendant nous pas nous sommes bad guy. I'm a very considerate man.
Nobody say you're a bad guy.
So, kounya la, attendez, non, kounya la, madame moi, s'il veut faire, m'a payé pour me capable passer. Une des raisons m'a fait tout, c'est pour répondre d'esprit dans là. Parce que comme je les femmes qui ont un problème dans le monde, self dans le monde, petit n'est que boulet, et donc comme des cabos. Ou al fait monde, ou même qui garçon a tellement même dans le monde on met monde tout. Tellement monde ça, tellement monde comme ça par le medo dans là. So therefore, m'a fait le bouli et s'il veut faire bundal, il veut faire tétel et so samedi là et c'est pour répondre d'esprit. Mais moi-même si c'est pour moi, il pas t'a me faire. Ça m'a parlé aussi si m'te madame, that's being considerate. Parce que mon a fait petit pour et so samedi là, mon a commencé à entrer dans l'âge, gen des petits bagages livre les charger, pendant des heures samedi, it's okay. Mais moi d'où ça ou sorti dans l'aria. Tout d'abord femme qui consacrée par mari a chercher. En clair sous ça. Puis faut m'kadou, puis faut femme ça yo, c'est their object. Son marchandise yo
accessories.
So their accessories, son marchandise yo a van. So pour capable attirer plus commerçants, yo connaît gon façon pour yo yé. So therefore, they went to the extent, c'est peut-être ça tout. Quand on a regardé l'eau plein pour ça, quel que soit femme ça qui dit y a cherché on est fait qui ça. Qu'a fait at least 100 000 à 200 000 $. Parce que raison, yo besoin pour nek ça qui ça. Parce que comme vous voulez, faire surgery is one thing. You have to maintain it. Faut maintain munda, oui. Parce que comment on arrive bunda tomber base. Mais tout le temps après dans la bunda tomber. Ça veut dire je tête à même le film faut tête à gon l'âge qui arrive. Faut maintain. C'est là ça that's et peut-être ça me dit son marchandise et peut-être c'est vendre while they on their peak. Parce que automatiquement faut commencer à entrer dans l'âge. Côté que faut moun à côté gros grete même si vous sommes pour le dire base.
Pour le dire.
Yeah. Come on.
Non, but moi je pense qu'il doit y avoir une spécifique catégorie de nèg qui aime genre de bagages ça yo.
Yes.
Parce que pas vraiment bon c'est un deal c'est pas mon deal mais pas vraiment ouais madame politicien ressemble ça pas ouais madame CEO bien nèg américain ressemble ça ouais pas ouais mon paquet dame moi pas ouais qui semblait genre de bail ça
femme qui femme yo
son série de Chanel ou bien série de bail dans social media que les moi mon série de bien spécifique. Oui, moi, c'est des nègres bien spécifiques qui aiment genre de bail ça. Mais plastic surgery, lui-même, dans chaque pays, est bagaille différent. Parce qu'il y a des pays, depuis l'âge bien jeune, conseil de timidam parents, et al fait surgery. En Corée du Sud. Et puis,
c'est ça de surgery, mais là.
Dans le pays arabe. Bon, par exemple, dans le pays arabe, yon j'en ai, que les petits gens depuis 16 ans, 17 ans, ils connaissent le cas docteur, il y a le corrigé, ils ont retiré mon zo par les que retiré pour y battre.
Yeah, parce que there's like a defect.
Yeah, it's not a defect, it's just like the shape of their nose. You're toujours going to bump qui en l'air pas comme ça. They have a big nose. Arabe toujours dit comme ça que Arabe a big nose. So ils corrigent, mesdames et messieurs, qui ont tiré un pipiti, so ils corrigent ça pour eux. Mais là et South Corée du Sud, où on est que asiatique n'a pas de pli ça qui en les têtes d'yeux là, qui en bas et la paupière là. Et puis là mesdames là 16 17 ans par an on fait genre de petite correction ça aussi et puis on a tout été continue à faire bagaille ça depuis non l'âge bien jeune mais moi même c'est
et moi cherche un bagage pour me faire comme moi là
même c'est pas un problème au monde font-ils lift font-ils augmentation ou font-ils correction bah en vent tout dans derrière bah ça qualité gros augmentation ça côté bagage là dépasser les volumes là. Oh, but it's really not for me. Maybe for someone else, but you can keep it over there.
Ah, la toi, papa.
Et Lolo, et m'bagone si Lolo gen ken travail li fait le temps et dit que ça le fait.
Pas pour mettre papa. Naturel base.
So Lily.
Jean ouais Lulu à cause ça.
Même make-up li va m'aider.
Ouais, Lulu sont femme naturelle.
Lolo tout naturel.
Ouais. Ouais, femme ça bon. Femme ça
Ça
quand
va
ouais.
regarder
Comme
prend
ça.
l'huile maintenant boucher éclairé seulement.
Femme ça va douce en pile.
La
Naturel.
Eh
Naturel.
bien, c'est que vous avez fait, papa.
But one thing
C'est
is,
beau, ça.
go back at bagay, mesdames, yo pense de comme des cadeaux. Là, yo fait tout tintin ça yo toujours maintenant tête yo pour nèg yo fait. Fait comme des cadeaux c'est pour nous yo fait. For some reason, they always giving like their myth in their head.
Bon.
Fait comme des cadeaux yo fait. But problème qui pose, ou pas fait pour moi ou fait pour des cadeaux pour ou attirer dépenser comme dans li bot. En vraie réalité, si je cherche une bonne femme, bon, je ne vais pas dire bonne femme. Si je cherche une femme, je connais que, puis faut mesdames, je connais, majorité n'est pas pris au sérieux, n'est pas pour la femme. Ça, parce que c'est femme qui toujours chercher moun, qui chercher validation from people.
I disagree. There might be a high percentage that that's what it is, but there are some people who are simply doing it for themselves, not for a man, not to attract attention, just because that's the preferred look. So we can't really see.
Well, no, but Lulu, I'm gonna have to disagree. I agree and disagree at the same time because why is it the preferred look? It's because the look that most people think is attractive. Maintenant, kounya la que c'est l'autre fille qui were attractive, que c'est garçon qui were attractive. Because one thing you gotta realize that women in general love attention. They love compliments, quel que soit l'âge. Moi-même, c'est un wealth management que nous avons une dame qui chita devant moi qui a 57 ans. Et puis me flatte, elle se voit, j'en rouge, même je comme ça, j'ai 16 ans. Ouais, mais so, on aime ça. Ouais, mais so, at the end of the day, yes, they're doing it for themselves to feel good about themselves. But if they don't receive the feedback from the outside, right, and it only stay inside, they might still not feel good about themselves. So they want to come out. They want to come out and get the compliment. You know, people will notice, and especially when men notice, and it might not be a compliment that comes in a sexual attraction, but just simply a compliment. It goes a long way.
Yeah, but wanting a compliment or wanting some sort of approval is different from what Anderson is stating. Like they're looking for men with money. It's an investment for them to get something back in return. That's not always the case.
That's why I say 80%. Yeah. But l'autre jour là, m'a passé dans TSC. L'autre jour là, m'a travel, m'a passé TSC. Mon femme. Et you know, mesdames TSC, m'a passé beaucoup de mais li gros il gen ti poids mais for some reason pendant le gen ti poids mais l'aime garder figil ça ne li gon une belle tête de femme mais kounya me dit wow you pretty I'm surprised shocked soit Jean femme nan getan garder femme nan getan garder tout col tant comme des cadeaux semble vraiment ça c'est pas différent it's just the fact that dit que mais pas oublier mais non Mali li pense me dit belle dans tout corps but et pendant ce temps, moi-même, je connais ces figures seulement, je me dis, ben, après ça, pas étant encore. Vous comprenez? But, it's to appuyer ça, Stanley dit, automatiquement, c'est peut-être ça, pile femme bousin tout, est-ce que nèg la balle au compliment? Est-ce que femme qui pas tête, en pile femme qui pas cette tête pas nèg la balle au compliment? Et puis, sortant de là, tête qui bâti. Tête li parti, qu'on a gâté passer nèg la même et puis la quoi ba nèg la.
Eh ben Anderson, si bon Dieu pas de faire femme comme ça pour nous mes amis, ou quand t'as jamais femme, hein? C'est mon Dieu qui fait comme ça. Ouais. C'est peut-être parti même.
Bah quoi bon Dieu qu'on est comme ça, tape tourner dans men.
Listen, si tête mesdames était posée, si tête mesdames était posée même avec nous même garçon, mesdames était à toutes 100 fois sur. Nous pas prendre rien même non.
Bon. Et t'as fait dévancer plus.
Bon, ouais.
Parce que monsieur, moi-même, bon, papa, go bagat.
Parce que ba un compliment puis yo get un vouf yo sou déjà.
Oh,
Like,
come
where-
on, un pile femme.
Oh, gan pil,
Un pile
Lulu, gan
femme.
pil them. And especially if c'est compliment ap sorti lon nèg que they find halfway decent. He doesn't
Yes.
have to be the most
Oh.
attractive guy.
Oh
But
yeah.
depuis yo un nèg la halfway decent, et yo ouais, comme si yo te gen da gon possibilité ensemble avec monsieur nèg sa bon compliment. Because listen, make it familiar. A compliment that's coming from someone that they find attractive is always well received and welcome. A compliment, the same exact compliment can come from another man that don't find attractive. They're like, ew, my God, he's a creep. You know? But if you're a jeune qui halfway decent, ou flatter, et puis on est qui a persévéré, on est qui la première fois aller venir le ballon en flatterie, and then nèg la li pas prendre la flatterie non, but nèg la persévérer because femme en général reme nèg qui reme yo.
Ouais.
Ouais, avec du nan.
Nèg
So
flatter yo.
you just gotta be, yeah,
Well,
nèg a
that's what
flatter.
Mais peut-être ça me fait bagay mariage, après me fait bagay madame. Non, ouais, même fait bagay ça même. Même son nèg ben comme sou vle men. Kem sensible. C'est pour moi qu'on aime madame a fait sacrifice pour et puis n'importe nèg qui dou belle et puis ou bail.
Ben non.
Il va me
Il y a des femmes qui bon madame, not
Ça dépend de
necessarily.
combien de fois il dit
Hey,
ça.
moi-même, m'veille ça me dit non. Si gen 2000 couleurs de ayo dit son grain seulement qui poisson m'pa pou faire porte là, ça va intéresser. So, ou mettre par les pourcentages de beau, un problème pas. Moi-même dit nous qu'on problème mais déjà, moi-même pas it's okay.
Who hurt you?
Sak bo, son le gen leja. Richard gen leja. Bakon pou mako.
Lulu,
Yo get again,
who
you
hurt
get again.
Ah, that's
Stanley,
good.
hey,
Women
Stanley,
are
bon
great
pose
at
question.
giving
It's
back.
okay.
Loulou, bon pose question. Comme Loulou dans département éducatif là, soit pensez de the budget cutting for the public schools.
Éliminer bagay ça. Éliminer public school.
Non, c'est négatif net.
Éliminer public school. As matter of fact, yo supposé vendre toute l'école publique yo avec une compagnie privée et puis kounya la fait complet l'école publique à tout non pour l'école privée. Mais qui ça go ahead Lulu I believe I did a show about that. I bet just Lulu have more information there. Kounya la bon 9000 $ pour petit toile dans l'école privée.
Bon, moi-même, petite, moi pas c'est l'école privée. I believe in private schools. I didn't feel like I'm trying to be very careful as to what I say, but there's a lot of public schools, the education isn't really up to par. And
Crap. Shady, bad teacher in the ghetto, drug dealer kids you're dealing with, baby mamas, kid, on
I think
social, bad, all around. And that's the reason segregation still around when it's come to public school. Because if you live in the ghetto, you cannot take your school anywhere. Your kids any other place. Even though you're in the ghetto, then your kids have to go in the ghetto. If there's like 5 crackhead kids in your neighborhood, believe me, those 5 crackhead kids going to sit next to your kid, point blank.
But I think what's happening to it with budget cuts is that classrooms are already overpopulated, so it'll just create, instead of 25 in a class, maybe 35, and that just worsens the education.
Well, no, I mean, if I can clarify a little bit, I think it's not necessarily budget cuts. It's basically redirecting and giving control back to the state when it comes to the education.
Okay.
So
Yes.
now, I think I'm for it because the standard that we have now is not working.
Yes.
Why not try something new? Maybe the state could have better control of the school system and the education system, and they can better manage it locally.
No, it's the state that have it right now. The state been in control. I don't know the state, but New Florida is the state that control the school.
No, gon department of education qui sous tête state. Gon department of education fédéral qui sous tête state là. Qui mandé un certain standard. So now, if the state wants to go beyond that standard, it's on them. But they do receive funding from the federal. Et gon paquet bail qui c'est pas seulement éducation, il y a diversification, il y a un paquet de programmes que nous même ici à Boston, un programme qui les mettre côté yo prend ti moun qui l'ont série des zones qui pas tellement fin bon que yo vinn mener que bon moi même chance pour moi ti moun moi allons bon l'école non bon zone mais il y a ti moun qui saute dans zone qui pas bon qui viennent et là parce que ba une chance parce que ti moun ça yo gen smart. There's an opportunity for them to kind of, do better from coming from, dans area que yo sorti. So tout genre de programme ça yo existé. So et programme fédéral là gérer tout genre de bail ça et bail cob et tout genre de bail ça. Est-ce que programme ça pas souffrir? I don't know. But in general, the education system in the United States, it's lacking. Et je pense que si on le bail qui a fait, it might be for the best.
And Harold, in the comments, thank you for commenting. He said, especially in Black neighborhoods, the public schools are horrible.
I mean, we already know that. Where there's poverty, usually the schools are, not the best when you compare it to some of the middle class and wealthier area. And it only makes sense. Parce que moi, je regarde l'enseignement de zone, l'enseignement de bail et support que ti moun yo recevoir. Somebody that might be living in a certain neighborhood and cannot afford it, pour pouvoir ti moun yo either Kuman or Mathnasium after school program, those things are quite expensive. And even for extracurricular activity, again, ti moun ki joue sport, même on complexe que mène ti moun moyal prend une leçon privée pour basketball. That complex is baseball, soccer, volleyball. Let me venir bon, de parler avec Mano et qui dans télé qui parle avec nous dans le show aujourd'hui. Je parle avec monsieur. Je me dis Mano dit nous avons un problème oui parce que m'a regardé complexe là, on regarde l'âge si mon yo, gens tout petit. You get up private lessons or training you to be better at what they're doing. Même pas aucun monde nous a passé non là. Moi son paquet blanc qui a payé monter descendre un paquet asiatique dans zone côté m'a dit un paquet indien tout. Et moi son paquet indien. So therefore once they buy super car for the Butimuna, obviously it's gonna suffer because it's not only in the classroom, it's not only in the school property, it's what goes beyond the school.
Attendez, mais ça m'a dit nous. Ouais, tout bagage ça qui est important à parler à. Gon paquet moun, c'est pas fait ou pas te ka fait long. They do not know their priorities. That's exactly what we're talking about. Their priorities. Because nte na chom de fait l'autre jour. Dude. Pas gan ken sou bien gade pi fo bagay fatra mat pop te kap fait c'est dans public school yo fait spécialement dans ghetto. Where tout mouvement bagay in the library. Yo genyen si moun nan kindergarten they have sex book in the library. Nan ghetto. Blanc pas prendre ça dans mon. The suburb yo pas prendre mal pop te comme ça. Imagine au petit tout l'école dans ghetto dans public school dans ghetto jodi a professeur son garçon des son drag queen qu'a fait class petit tout. They're not gonna listen. Only those type of things happen only in the ghetto, in the public school. Private school pas prendre ça dans mon. This is the reason why the conservative create the program in Florida that will give you a voucher, $9,000, to take your kids to any private school that's taking the voucher. And in that $9,000, they take it away from the public school. That's the reason why public school spending so much advertising in the ghetto, so telling the people, discourage them not to take the voucher, because they know every time a parent take the voucher, they lose $9,000 because they evaluate each kid in the public school system costs $9,000 for the year. So therefore, they take that money and then you can give your kids. Now, here's a major problem the kids are having. Here's a major problem. Même l'école privée, ça you're gonna take your kids. That's the reason I'm telling you, man. Black people screwed all around. Black people screwed. Now,
let
me tell you, even though you take the voucher for $9,000, Now your kids, the deficiency that your kids into. Because what's going to happen is this: for another school to take your kid now, they're going to do what?
Test them.
They're gonna do a test. They're gonna test your kid. Now you're gonna see your kids never learn crap. Now they do not want to take your kid. Because your kid, what happened is this private school, they will not accept your kid because you know why? Your kids will affect their bottom line. Because
Well,
this
it's not only it's not only the bottom line. Et boys here in Massachusetts go on test les MCAS, que ti moun yo pren chaque année. My kids take that test. So now the test, when you take the test, it's a standardized test that they have so they can actually evaluate not so much the kids, but to evaluate the what the school is doing, right? Qui sa pa kon ti moun yo, qui level ti moun yo dans chaque zone. Ça veut dire dans zone ça yo, you connect you do okay, in average the kids in that particular area score a certain number on that test, which is very good, blah blah blah, you rank tout zone you.
Yeah.
So kunya la yo rank zone yo kunya la kunya professeur yo même, they have an incentive to actually have those kids score high because state la pal ba yo et l'argent, bonus, ba tout genre de ba ça pour bon travail que y a fait pour ti moun sa. So mais c'est pas toute state qui est ça, but même moi ça fait deux bagages. Non seulement l'évaluer qui genre et qui ça y a pas plein ti moun yo. Number one, it gives you une perspective côté ti moun nan y tout lui-même personnellement et dans niveau dans ça la pas prendre. Ouais, besoin. And then kunyala ou konen tout where basically that may need more funding or more attention because d'après score que you vin dans test.
Lulu?
I understand the importance of public schools because, as you stated, if we were to go all private and they each have their own rules and regulation as to who they allow into the school, there'll be quite a few children that would be left behind. So it would be important to have some sort of public school or some private schools that are willing to accept, regardless of your background or GPA, etc. So, but eliminating public schools altogether, I don't think would be a good idea.
Because here's the problem.
No.
I think what they
public school, no? Yeah.
Anderson has said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
There's
public schools.
But I think here's the thing.
I can tell you, go say the côté qui est public school. Those public school, we should have avoided
Parkland
public schools compared to
Parkland.
But même la zone côté m'habite là, it's ranked number 6 in the entire state. When it comes to math and science. But yeah. L'autre côté que les Wellesley boys here, you wish you can send your kids to that
public school. Yes, exactly.
People in a private school, we should have avoided it.
Okay, now everybody, look at same thing. What Stanley says, right? I live in Myanmar right now. I used to. But I just realized I was in the ghetto. I thought I was in a good neighborhood. Came to find out when I was reading, because I was reading about my local situation, I said I was in the ghetto. I cannot put my kids in school in Myanmar. Where I live, there's no good school in Myanmar.
There is.
Now what happened is, since I just realized I was in the ghetto in Myanmar, thank God I was able to find a place in Parkland. And here's the funny thing. The public school over there, they're in the same level of private school, any private school, just like Stanley said. So, but guess what? I had to move because guess what? Because I know my kids, if I don't put them in a good school at the age of 3, by the time they're 7, they done. They're frustrated. They don't learn crap. So now every time that you're trying to teach them something, they're gonna get frustrated because they do not understand, because they never had a good foundation.
And I don't think it's just the education too. It's the influences. I think
absolutely
big role. I mean, for years, my kids were like 3 and 5, 6 and 8, I was paying $10,000 each for them to be in a good school, learning French, learning Spanish, and it made a positive impact on my children. It's the education as well as the influences.
Absolutely. Bon, histoire bien simple. One of my kids, when I was in class, and they gave them a test, right? And you heard me earlier said where I live, there's a lot of Indian and Asians, and they do very well in science and math. So she had a score of 82 on her test, and she was below the class average. She came, she came to us very upset that she was below the class average at the score of 82. Well, guess what? Now we had to find a place where she can actually get lessons,
Yeah.
right? And now she's scoring 97, and 98,
Yeah.
right? They're both actually. I have two of them. It's twins because they're scoring very high on the math test, which I'm very happy about. But I mean, it's costing me money for them to have that
Exactly.
after school.
Yeah.
It's not everybody that can do that.
And
right?
and,
It's
and
not everybody can do that.
and let me tell you something. Even though I was talking with my neighbor in Parkland, right? He told me, Anderson, I used to live in Miramar too. He's white. And he says, I knew. And he was like in the west side. I knew. Even though I told you I was in the west side, I knew they did not have good school. Because how do I know? Because there's a test, a separate test I have my daughter take, and she fell. And that school that's supposed to be in Myanmar was supposed to be a school. Imagine. So now he moved to Parkland. He told me that we were just talking and say, that's the reason when he moved to Parkland. Even though he said, Anderson, let me tell you something. When he moved to Parkland, so the schools are great and everything. Guess what happened? The kids could not keep up with the education. So now he has to take her out of that school and put her strictly private. In paying tutoring for her separately to be able to focus. Because you know why? I should say, here's the problem, Anderson. When I move here to Parkland, the school is great, but so much distraction because it's still a public school regardless. So much distraction, and she was behind. So she was not doing well. So that means you should see all the sacrifices white people take to make sure their kids have the good basic foundation.
I said parents.
And then here's the thing. Like you said, parents.
Yeah.
2 parents in a home, dude. 2 parents. They put their head together and make it happen.
Like,
that's why I said, if you think having your kids going to school in public school in the ghetto and your kids gonna be successful, the chances are very, very low. Probably like some of them might get lucky, but at the end of the day, all the components are not there for them to achieve. Especially not dealing with all these homosexual thing, transgender thing, all these nonsense distraction, or thinking about the kids. How you feeling? Are you sure your boy? Are you sure your girl? All this type of nonsense. A drag queen show. These kids are already failing in the ghetto, and the best thing you can present to them inside of the auditorium is a drag queen show. That's crazy.
No, mais gon gap, when gap ça commence fait tout côté Anderson. I don't think it's only academically it's happening. Mwen wè lan by athletic yo. Timon yo komanse yo depi bien bonheur lan bagay athletic sa yo pou ya komanse yo de training. Map gade March Madness, surtout mesdames yo. different nan nivou gason yo tou, but map gade mesdames yo, the level of talent and capabilities and abilities that I'm seeing in those white girls, uh, longtemps, moi, c'est ti mesdames noires qui te gen bagay sa yo. But you tellement comment c'est mesdames sa yo, tellement bonheur,
Yes,
nan
sir.
shooter yo, nan mate boule yo, nan handling, boule yo, jan yo pénétrer, jan yo sorti, jan yo. My God, it's very impressive. It's very impressive.
And even
You know,
though there is no guaranteed they're going to make it.
no, there's no
Imagine.
guarantee.
And
Yeah,
there's no
there's
guarantee,
no
even
guarantee.
as good as they are from starting from the beginning, there's no guarantee they're going to make it. Imagine.
Wait, listen, Stanley, there's two things. You have the white people, they want their kids, some of them, they want their kids to play a sport. But at the same time, their foundation is that, listen, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna be focused, you're gonna give me the grades. If you don't give me those grades, you're not gonna participate on anything. Okay? And we have in the black community that said, listen, sports is all you have, this is your way out.
Yeah.
You see the difference, right? So now the white in a white neighborhood, he's gonna tell his son or his daughters, that's my neighbor, play a sport, you get a scholarship from this private school. But make sure you get good grades because that's the school I want you to go to fulfill your dream, which is become a brain surgeon as soon as she's done. Okay? But she's gonna go there, she's gonna play ball. But knowing that the ball is just a bridge to get to where I want to go.
Exactly.
Versus some of us here in the ghetto. I mean, not say ghetto, but versus some of us in our community telling you, listen, I ain't got the money for you to go to school. You better go out there and play football and be good at it.
I mean, that's
You see where I'm at, right? So now we're both doing the same thing,
comparing
but
money
for two different purposes.
Go ahead. Okay.
We're comparing families that have the funds to support these dreams early on versus those who can afford it. And there are even some who can afford it and still don't do anything about it. I don't think it's just whites. I mean, look at the young Coco in tennis. What's the other one? They started very young, and their parents put forth the effort and the funds that they had to make sure that their child trained and became the superstars that they are now, the athletes that they are now. So sometimes we have to look at that too. It's the disparity in financial capabilities. I mean, me, for example, when I said I paid $10,000 per child, but in the back end, that was what my priority was. But in the back end, I'm wearing the same black pants 3-4 days at work, because I'm putting all the money towards my children and not onto myself, because at the time I didn't have it like that. So again,
sacrifice,
you sacrifice. I got picked on. Oh, you're wearing the same shoes for 2 weeks now. Yeah, but my kids are being properly educated. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got your priorities. That's it.
Well, but I was saying that it's like I think the gap is gonna start getting close because within the Black community, although we didn't have the funding or there's not enough, they don't have the means to support some of those dreams, but we have so much natural talent within our community that a lot of the players in college, a lot of players that shine in professionally in the NBA. Very often, I mean, if you look if you look at a football field, or if you look at the entire NBA itself, right? There's a lot of natural talents there, right? But I think that gap is going to start closing because with the technology and the advancement that there is with training, and you take a young child and you expose them to that kind of training from a very early age, well, they're able to start closing that gap now.
Yeah. So
practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So
I guess the key thing is, and what we want people to understand, like Richard said, education. You have to do your best, man. Education is the key. And you have to start early. Like when I say early, do not let your kids pass 7 years old without basically master the basic. And I see it up in my son that's 8, and he started kindergarten. He was in preschool, whatever, like daycare, going to school, daycare. And like first semester in kindergarten, For some parent, they would say, kindergarten is nothing, blah, blah, blah. It's in kindergarten, right? The first semester. And the teacher was telling us that, well, we see like they were not giving him homework. And we inquire about it. And the teacher said, well, you know, they small. We do a lot of work in school. We don't overwhelm them. So therefore, that's the reason why they do not have homework. Okay. First quarter pass, and they do a test. The boy is failing. I said, whoa. I talked to the mother. I said, we have a problem. See that teacher? He has a bad plan for our son. Keep in mind, he doesn't have homework because they don't want to overwhelm him, right? But he's failing. Something not working. So therefore, we do research. Then we find Cuman. And I believe I was talking to Stanley about that. Stanley was telling me about Cuman and about in his state. But Cuman is free in Boston. But here in the US,
in Florida.
Let me make a quick correction here. Kuman is not. It's not free. It so happened that the school that my kids go to has an arrangement with Kuman where the kids can actually go there for free.
okay, you see. So regardless of what it is, you mentioned it was for free for us.
The
moment
is in the uppity area.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. So then I came to find out, we do research about it. Then we say, you know what? We put our son in Cuman. Yo, next semester, that same freaking teacher calling us and say, oh, you guys remember that he was failing, but now he's in the top of his class. What did you guys do? To not Chris bullet women. So you're supposed to be telling me what I need to do for my kids not to fail.
Now you asking me.
Now you're asking me. I say, yeah, you know what? I put them in Cuman. Oh, wow, that's good. What Cuman does? They teach them and give them homework every freaking day, dude. Every day.
It's repetition over repetition.
Repetition over repetition.
It's you packet mathematics.
Packet mathematics, dude.
Yeah.
The boy is busy, always on his tablet, doing homework. Now he's in the top 10% in the whole state, in the whole country. Top 10%. But guess what? The public school think it's because of them. Now there's another program I came to find out that's better than Cuman. I don't even remember it. That's what he's doing right now. The boy is doing fraction. And then when you go to school on second grade, they're not even doing multiplication.
But you know the school thing is the problem here, right? The school thing is a scam. Here, let me explain myself. There was this Haitian couple that have children. They have about 3 or 4 daughters, and then the mom quit working, stay home, like what you say you believed in that show, and then the oldest graduated, I think at 14 or 16. When she was about to turn 24, she was ready to be a doctor.
Yes.
She did homeschooling.
Yes, that's exactly. Here's the thing. That's exactly, I believe, that's the next phase. And I was talking to his mother the other day. Like, my son mother, Eli, man, she's like unbelievable woman. Like Gael, hands down. I'm telling you, that's the only, she's great, man. God bless me on that one. You see, why people think I say, not a woman or bad. Okay, I have a great mother like Eli, mother, Gael. Let me tell you this. You see, people, when you're good, you're good. Simple as that. She's phenomenal. So that means I don't have nothing against women. I only have issues.
You're just fair.
I'm just fair.
That's it.
But lucky me, because some guys are not even lucky to have even one they can talk to. But me, thank Jehovah God, this one, so far so good. She might change tomorrow. You never know because she's still a woman. But so far, so good. Here's the thing, though. And here's the thing. Like, we on the same page when this comes to the board education. And what happened is we see like there's certain inquiry my son started having as far as social. Do you understand? And then we say, you know what? Now my son understand. 8th grade, you should see people that's not paying attention to their kids, man. Let me tell you this, man. I feel bad for y'all. In this country, you're not paying attention to your kids. You do not ask them questions. You do not talk to them. You are job doesn't put out on got. Whoa. Now we realize our next step, Stanley, is homeschooling. Because he already had the experience. He sees what's going on. And I don't want him to worry about educating himself and worry also about racism, things like that. So I say, you know what? He already knows. And then guess what happened? Our next step, it's gonna be homeschooling. Simple as that.
I think you and I were talking about that. Yes and no. I think our children, especially being Black children, will always have some type of experience and will get exposed to racism at some point in their life, sometime stronger or weaker than other. But Timuna, you kind of have to kind of teach them how to face that, because it's coming. And sometimes it's very, it can come in a form where you basically want to get promoted for a job and then you're not getting the promotion and other people are getting promoted. It doesn't have to come be explicit, bagay, about your skin color directly. But it's coming at some point, and we're going to have homeschooling now, but at some point he needs to go out there and face the world, because the world is the way it is.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in on that because I too was the person who didn't want my kids to know that racism existed. If you have any type of drama going on at your house, do not speak about it in front of my kids. The world is amazing, is beautiful, we're happy, and things like that. Don't curse around my kids, don't do none of that. But my daughter, around the age of 15, 16, when she started to say, hey, mommy, I kind of want to see how public school is, it was a major culture shock. I had them too much in a bubble. And it got to a point people were like, well, they're going to have to know that racism exists. They're going to have to know that things are unfair in life. They're going to have to know. So I kind of started to realize that I was kind of doing more of a disfavor. They have to know about it. And it sucks. Maybe not at the age of 8, but.
Well, I mean, you're better than me, because I actually put my kids in the car. Nous avons on a medical center, Boston Medical, where tout gens qui ont dans la rue, and they're actually sleeping in tents. They're actually shooting. As you're driving, they're on the sidewalk shooting. Where I'm listening, and I'm like, listen, this is a teaching moment for you guys. So, moi-même, moi, son, quel que soit que ces gens de bail qui ont rapport avec drogue, qui ont rapport avec racism, I start talking to them about it to an early age, because they're around. I don't want to say unfortunately, but because where we live, there's a lot of white people. Right? There's a lot of white people. There's a lot of Jewish. And then we have the Asian community, right? We very much in the minority where we live. So, when you get the component by being bonheur, so they know kind of like how to move. And I think it's basically from a very young age, like, maybe I might not do this because I know what the result might come. And nowadays, depending on middle school, when you get a pick up the bagay, bien bonheur, it used to be in high school. Now it's in middle school. And the kids are having.
I think what I'm saying, that I believe, like, just the mother especially, not me, because I'm the type of guy, like, I think different when it's come to my kids, and I know what they're gonna face in the world and society. And what happened is this: my job is I'm concentrating the most is that I'm concentrating in building things for them and leave things for them to lead, to be leader in things that I'm building. So that way, just like Stanley said, they don't have to go and sit in somebody's face and face his racism when it's come to like getting a promotion, getting a job. No, I want to place my kids in a position right now. Thank Jehovah God, I'm in the position I'm giving people job. Doesn't matter white, black, purple, Spanish, you sit in the front of
Yeah.
me. I'm giving you. So therefore, I'm focusing on that end. But the mother, I believe she's doing a very good job. The mother of my like Eli mother doing a fantastic job, and I see all the time when she's talking to me and the way she's addressing certain things. When it's come to like my son say, hey, you know what, this kid, like for example, the other day, and then my son came in, and then he has a conversation with the mother, and then make me aware of it. Is that his friend is white, right? His friend is white, and then there's another black friend that he had, but this black friend was bothering his white friend a lot. It was bothering him, like bullying him, and then until the white boy explained, say, "Yo, you look like an African monkey," and then my son and did not know how to react. Then he leave things alone. Then when he get in the car, he told the mother what happened. And then, but now the mother called me and we were doing a friend's call. I was on the phone. And then, so, okay, this is what happened. And then we were trying to find out how he handled the situation. And then he says, well, you know what? I did not want to say anything then because I did not want the situation to escalate. That's my son talking. And then, and the mother said, listen, I understand, but now what are you planning to do about it? Are you gonna still be friends with him? Then he said, well, you remember, mommy, like what he says wasn't right. He was being very disrespectful and racist, but I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna ask him if that's the way that he really feels. And if that's the way he really feels, then I'm gonna tell him, no, I cannot be friend with a racist person because we are equal. So that's what he's telling. That's what he's saying that. And then I said, did you tell the teacher about it? He said, no, I did not. Because like I said, I did not want the whole thing to be escalate, things like that, because I know also my friend was really bothering him, things like that. So, and then at that moment, I see that he can have control over the situation because we've been talking to him about it. And and the way that we're talking to him about it is like, yo, we just have to let him know. The mother told him point blank, listen, you black. And then when you go to school, I don't want the teacher call me for stupid nonsense that you do, because just remember, you as a black kid in the class, you have to be 20 times better than those white kids that's in the class, because guess what happened? They have the luxury that you don't have. The teacher will come after you before they go after them.
See?
So those are, and then we always have to put them, the mother especially, have to tell him, hey, listen, you have to be, if those white kids study 2 hours a day, you have to study 6 hours a day, because you have to be better than them. Because that's the reality of things. And then don't think like your dad or me, we just gonna throw things at you. No, we want to prepare you to replace us and lead tomorrow. So those are the same conversation I used to have when I was raising my first two kids. When I'm driving them to school every day, I talk to them every freaking day. That's why it's still a habit for me. Even though I haven't made, but I am the one that have to take my kids to school in the morning, because this is the time I talk to them. all the way to the school.
You remind me of myself. They're like, oh my God, they're probably thinking he's gonna start talking and it's not gonna stop. Yeah.
And
So we're gonna slightly move on from that and just touch a little bit on the topic of where IRS and ICE are starting to have some sort of a deal here for ICE to receive information, particularly on immigrants.
what for?
Um,
To do what? To accomplish what? I saw it on the news, but to accomplish what?
Well, guess what? Listen, Anderson, if you're working in this country and you're not paying your taxes, it's a federal crime. So I don't know why you're getting so excited about it. So
I'm not getting excited
if-
about it. I said, why are they
Yeah.
doing it? Why are they doing it?
Listen, if you're
If you're deporting the people, why are you? So I guess what they're trying.
if you're looking for a basis to deport people, you not paying your taxes in this country is actually a crime. Therefore, they can actually deport you for committing a crime.
it might not just be the fact that they're not paying their taxes.
Oh, I guess the producer said they're sharing address. It's about address and
Right. It's to be able to locate them as well, because employment have records on who's here on a work visa, etc. So
that makes
realizing that I
sense.
have to meet their quota, they're trying to make deals with whatever entity can release more information, address, name, so they can go ahead and go.
But the thing that is strange to me is that, and then the government actually have to work on that, is the fact that those departments don't speak to each other from the get-go. I don't understand why ICE has to basically make a deal with the IRS
Because
so
they are
they can
separate
get
entities.
information. I understand that they're separate entities, but they're both governmental entities. So why aren't they talking to each other just naturally? That's what I believe that's something that should be happening. The Justice Department.
There was no
plus
need for it, though. Probably there was no need for it before.
No, it's
ICE have a specific job, is to deport people. So they need to find you to deport you.
Too. Yeah, IRS is being entrusted with personal data on everyone.
But your personal data belong to the government.
Listen, but ICE
It's
ICE
the government.
is a governmental agency. What are we talking about here? It
polices, and that's the reason why they're doing it.
Stanley, they don't see they don't see eye to eye. It's like you telling me I'm in the military, the army. I'm in the
I
army.
understand that you're telling me that they don't see eye to eye. It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way, but that's how it is, because listen, I'm in the army, and then Rotschill is a commander in the Air Force, and I need help on something. Yo, I'm gonna go in there to dude. We here for the same mission. This crap. No, I'm gonna talk to him and then see if I can bring him in, and then work things out with him so I can get a favor from him.
But I know
But
what you're
yet, at the
saying.
same time, think
But the
about
thing
this.
is like
We're in Iraq together, right?
all...
We're in Iraq together. We're fighting terrorists, and then we have one common goal. But if I'm going on a mission and I say I need 2 medics, which is the Air Force, and then you say, no, I'm not going to send nobody on the mission with you guys. But we need 2 medics in the convoy in case something happens that is combat lifesavers. This is what I'm saying, right? But you have to go and bring this guy in, talk to him, give a whole bunch of stuff why he should let 2 medics go with you. But we're here together.
I guess those are the type of nonsense that.
Yeah, it's nonsense. To me, it's all nonsense.
I guess those are the nonsense like the Trump government trying to freaking put an end into. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you do have the commander in chief, and he has a mission. And I think all the departments that are under our president should come together and work together to achieve that mission. That's all. That's just me.
It's gonna definitely get ugly with this one, because they're gonna have addresses. They're gonna start yanking people out of their homes. I personally know people who do not have their green card or anything of that nature, who are here under the Biden program. They go to work, they go home, because I'm not trying to be in the streets to be seen and everything. So now that this information is being released by the IRS, they will know exactly which door they need to go knock on and pull these people out of their homes.
They're trying to make these people too scared not to go and file their taxes.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But guess what? Everybody already filed their taxes. Too late.
There's a lot of that every day.
la ki gen green card. Pou la lwe moun Canada li refize ale, oui.
Pas quitter l'aller.
Ou
Non.
li pa
Li
prale,
pe,
li
I
prale.
agree.
li fon sel gen da pa katounen, men
Non,
moun
les
nan gen green card.
Parce que,
Oui.
listen, with the green card,
Mm.
they don't have to let you back in. They can deny you entry at any given time.
Bon, ouais, bon, I guess. But what I'm saying is like this is the mindset that people are in right now. So the fact that it's okay, moi si mwen green card pas déplacer, although I can, when I'm besoin pas déplacer because my purpose is mwen pas katounen. So therefore go paquet moun ki pas déplacer. So c'est mindset ça
Tout a ese pa ple fè Amerike kounya la. Gade, pral gon list la.
Oh, tout est à vous. Oh,
Ouais.
regardez, application, si besoin de faire le m'a fait ou non.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Ka kompren fear ki gen de lè m'a parlé de
Yo met ton bay la. Producer met ton bay la.
Yeah. Was it accidental? Who knows? It just happened.
Yeah, maybe I felt it might purposely, yeah, it probably was purposely done. But when j'aime dire I was watching CNBC Money, and they were talking about Apple being behind in the whole AI situation, and Apple always have had a culture of secrecy. Côté que département yo pas tellement parler ensemble avec until they reveal something. Ça veut dire, ou travaille dans département ça va tellement parler, département ça, l'autre département ça va parler, et parler département ça. And therefore, because of that culture, Apple is behind on the whole AI situation, and companies are surpassing them. And if they don't come up with a solution to actually break down those barriers within departments so they can talk to each other and come up with a product that's going to compete out there, they might become at some point, I don't want to say absolute as a company, but they might basically fall behind, right? And then in this competitive world, you want to always have 2 or 3 or possibly 10 steps ahead of everyone, or especially if you're a technology company. So it's I don't understand this whole thing that the IRS doesn't speak to ICE and ICE doesn't speak to XYZ, right? It doesn't make the work easy for anyone, and it doesn't flow the way it should flow. In a sense, I could have that.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, I think like that April, what is it? April 24th? I believe that's the deadline for everybody to lose their CPS.
I thought a judge kind of put a hold on that temporarily.
On the April thing?
Yeah, it could be.
You sure? Because I haven't seen that breaking news.
Also BOI that we were talking about. Do you guys see that it's no longer mandatory?
Yeah, no, they said that. I heard it was out. It's not mandatory. No. I told you Trump don't play. Forget that. I mean, if you do it, you do it, but you don't have to do it. There's no penalty. And here's the thing. I heard they're gonna reduce IRS in half.
They're reducing it by at least 47% and SBA by like 43% or something like that. Great.
Yeah. Actually, bon, good and bad for me because I have mon client qui était un contracteur ensemble avec IRS. He kind of just lost that contract, and we had a commitment to actually fund an account about $150,000 a year. It was a big contract that he had, but à cause de bail, therefore he can't keep up with it, right? So therefore, those cuts already hit the country. He was a contractor, a technology security contractor with the IRS, so already hit him, and I think now they're coming for the employees.
And with change, there's always going to be good and bad in change, right? But we have to look at the overall picture of why the change is happening, and I think that this is a very good move.
As far as what? Can you elaborate on that?
Less audit.
Cutting down on the IRS, cutting down on governmental entities, shutting down departments, shutting down government offices.
Because all these are red tape to stop people from progressing.
Because look, like I said, I have my own experiences when you're calling these places, 3 people, you call the same day, 3 people, 3 different
And they don't even have a clue what you're talking about.
nobody knows what's going on.
Nobody
I'm
knows.
dealing with
Especially
the
RS.
SBA sent me a letter. I want to get your 2021 records. 2021 records, payroll, bank statement, da da da. I'm gonna send you all of 2021 within a week. Oh well, I only wanted to see April to July. Why didn't you say that? See, these are the little things that these people are doing that are behind these phones and these computers. It makes no sense. Get off. A lot of them gotta go. No common sense.
You know what?
Because those people, they're not, yo, dude, especially with IRS.
Is that your final
You know,
comment?
those people don't even have, even like, do you know like 90% of the employees don't even know jack about taxes?
They don't have to.
Of course. And when you call, they're clueless.
They're clueless.
They don't have to.
They don't know the difference between an S and a C corp. They're clueless. What are you doing working there? Cut it off.
Final
Well,
comment. Final comment.
eh,
Final comment. Final
Well,
comment.
final comment. The producer a joindre.
Before and after.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, montre,
Ouais.
Jean, c'est de commencer à néa.
Ouais, Jean producer en m'aide. Ouais,
Regardez, si John, coupez ça pour nous. Coupez pour la gueule. Coupez pour la gueule.
Ouais, Jean producer a fucké.
Monsieur.
Cool, enquête, monsieur. Et pendant ce temps, mesdames et messieurs, monsieur, nèg yo te toujours dit bon.
Peut-être aujourd'hui, bon, moun ki bon koto yo.
Il faut que bon espoir,
Every
que
year,
bon courage.
every year. Ou gra, après ça, on fait du tout poids. You got
Oui, every year.
when you gain weight, then you got the
For the
eight
time.
again.
For the time I've known him, he does that every year.
Pas que non, de vrai taxe ça va arriver, de vrai taxe qu'on bien manger votre plein mais la gel. Coup taxe
Oui,
arrivé.
ouais. Bah,
Stress-
si c'est taxes, on
stress
pas
dans les
stresser la manger, la
li
bagarre.
courir.
And then in the spring, on va nous faire trip nous, les get on descend. Après ça, by the fall, he's already getting fat again.
Really?
No, seriously, this I cannot afford to gain weight anymore. I cannot.
I agree.
No, I cannot.
Pour
I
qui
cannot
ça?
because that pressure, like
And
you know,
you
like
get-
being
you get- ouais.
uncomfortable, like the headache, the neck pain, all these things. I can't deal with that.
Gile nan
Non, mais courir avant,
Stanley.
les vont courir doual, les
Stanley.
bas, au
Il a
fond,
le
pas
monsieur
2 heures de
gras.
temps, 3 heures de temps.
Non,
Stanley.
Bakou, il de ce temps qu'on va
Stanley
voir.
gars, le monsieur gras chez
Pour-
Robin Blush.
pour-
Le
pour-
monsieur
pour-
petit
pour-
bois chez Robin Noir pour et encore.
M'courir 30
À
minutes
droite,
chaque jour.
sinon, c'est ça.
Ah, OK,
30
sorry.
minutes seulement courir.
Yeah, well, I do my like 3 miles, 5 miles.
There's no way you're doing 5 miles in 30 minutes.
No, I do 3 miles in 30 minutes. And I do 5 miles in 40 minutes. I do 5 miles in 40 minutes. 5 miles in 40 minutes.
I guess.
And then
No,
my
And
clock.
ça veut dire-
I'm a witness. Ti pak sa nou fè la, nou jou fè l'ensemble. Se fè 20. 20, il fait in less than what, 43, 42 minutes?
That's it.
It's
Right.
5 miles.
Done.
Okay.
So, but now I don't want to just skip around. I just like when I maintain 30 minutes every day. I do 5 miles every day. Before I used to do 8 miles a day, or 8 miles in the morning, 8 miles in the afternoon, 16 miles a day. But now I just want to maintain like 3 miles a day, and that's it.
Men se fò ba yon jenou anko. Mwen pa kapot kou sa yon jounen.
I don't take me
Di ba bon pou ou?
Ne di
Pou
mse
ta
mba-
Il n'est pas tellement bon pour. Il n'est pas
Ah.
tellement bon pour. No,
But
but I
30
mean,
minutes would
16 miles. 16 miles is like it's over half a
Mwen se
marathon.
kou la
Ça veut
joun,
dire
li kou matin a 6
souffre
heures du matin. La pou lo, petit,
Yeah, souffre-
il est, en allez non.
Souffre ça chaque jour. Yeah, souffre ça chaque jour. It's a little tax. It's surtout sur courir sous béton.
Sou beton anko,
It's gonna be bad for your knees over time.
It's
So you might want to
beton,
pace it a little bit less.
No,
but
like I said, that
anyway.
was before. Now I'm 30 minutes. I said I run 30 minutes. I do
Gotcha.
5 miles, 5 miles. That's it. Done. I'm out because even I have to hurry up, take my kids to school, blah blah blah, this and that. So
Final comment, men pou nou sa bin la, wè.
All right, so final comment.
Mm.
we had a good show
Well,
today.
We have
We covered some
I
good
guess
topic
we
today.
let these women have their BBLs and
The title should be from BBL Badous.
Full BBL, baby.
Vous entendez pas douce là? Le problème ça fait moun yo pas calme. From BBL Badous.
Coupel la gueule.
Okay?
I will see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah.
Stanley, what's up?
Well, Thank you for everybody that's watching. Like, subscribe, share the show. We have some good topics today. Nous sommes dans BBL, then nous sommes dans le département of education, then sur le département education de IRS avec ICE. I think we had a very good discussion. Nous pas gagnement aujourd'hui ensemble avec nous qui pour faire nous gagner dans nous et le show aujourd'hui, but it still was an entertaining show.
Indeed.
Bon, thank you everybody for watching. N'attend nous jeudi et puis pour que le monde faites avec nous, si nous besoin qui vous fait, regardez show là, je qui vous fait pour nous et puis like, subscribe and hey, next Thursday.
Hey, mesdames et messieurs, encore une fois, thank you for listening to, watching and listening to Rotschill, the Rotschill Anderson Show ensemble avec nous. Après-midi, once again, like I said, food entertainment, and keep in mind, and then, pas oublier, share post la ban love. Manger la jambe love. M'po rado $20, di ma love you. M'bake, si m'bo $100, maintenant, vous pouvez faire semaine après, le m'di moi-même. So therefore, share the post, as well as Amdullah, subscribe, click on the bell, subscribe, and share with your friend. Thank you very much for watching, and see you guys Thursday for another great show. Okay? Peace. We out.
If you're enjoying our show, our videos, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Hey everyone, this is Rotschill Anderson. If you're enjoying our show, our videos, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Hey everyone.
Am I the only one that didn't know starting a tax business could be this easy? Thanks to Executive Tax Software, it is. Whether you're a seasoned tax pro or just starting out, Executive Tax Software has you covered. Our comprehensive solution offers everything from cutting-edge software to in-depth training and even business startup support. Imagine having a partner that not only provides the best tax software, but also helps you launch your own tax business. That's what Executive Tax